Well, hey everybody. I wanted to make another video while I had some time and talk about uh, lights and lighting. In particular, what I'm talking about is uh, this little camp lantern I'm talking about. I picked this up at Walmart. It's fairly cheap, and why I think it's a good buy and why I think it's a good idea to invest in one. Uh, Two reasons. One, it's not electric. It doesn't use electricity. It uses camp oil or lamp oil. Okay, I've got 7 of these full, not including this one, which is opened. I picked up two of these lanterns, and I've got one smaller one. Okay, to me, these are well worth their weight to keep around for 2 reasons. One, if China or Russia ever EMPs this country, okay, if that ever happens, then these will be pretty freaking awesome to have. Okay, they don't use electricity. They'll be well worth it to keep them around. Man, this thing does not want to open. All right, well, I got it open. You know, this does have one of those child-proof safety things on here to where you get to push down and then twist. All right, but ooh, and it does have a rubber washer in there, but it's got a little got a little rubber washer in there, which is kind of cool. But I wanted to take some time to talk about this and why I think it's a good idea to have one of these. Um, it's well worth it, whether you do camping or like reenactment stuff. Having one of these old time lanterns is well worth it. Um, I've got a few friends of mine that are Amish, and every time I go into their house, they have one of these going. Um, Not only does it give off light, it also gives off heat, but it also gives off harmful smoke too. So you got to be careful on how well you do that. If you have your wick in here up too high, it gives off a lot of soot and it'll blacken this glass. But if you lower it down in here, it'll be fine. Works just fine. It'll burn efficiently, and you won't have any of that soot or black smoke. Um, Another reason why I think that this is a really good buy is it came with a little funnel for the purpose of fueling it. That in there. It just slips right in. And it also came with another wick, an extra wick. That is well worth its time. Well worth it to me. And now I'm going to cover some of the things in the instructions, what to use, what not to use with it. It says at the top, it says number 1, warning: use kerosene, lamp oil, or citronella only. And then after that, it goes on to list things not to use. And this is not to use. Do not use gasoline, Coleman fuel, white fuel, paint thinner, wood alcohol. Can't even fucking pronounce that word. Man, there's a whole bunch of stuff on here I can't even pronounce. Basically, it sums it up down here at the bottom. Anything that is explosive fuels, do not use in this. Makes a lot of sense. Don't use explosive fuels in this. It doesn't list diesel, but diesel's close enough to kerosene. It should, I would think it would be okay. But this right here, childproof cap, that's pretty awesome to have. Even says on here, kind of cool. It's well worth having these. A lot of people overlook these in the prepping community. They really do. They overlook them. They're so heavily fixated on bullets, band-aids, and beans and rice and medical stuff. And they're always worried about their fancy flashlights. This is a 1500 lumen, or I'm sorry, an 1800 lumen light with the strobe and a low setting. I used this quite a bit when I was driving a tow truck. It's well worth the time to buy one of these. These are nice. It does have a charging port on the back. If I flip it around again, it has a charging port where I can plug the USB into this and then hook it up to my cell phone to charge my cell phone. I thought that was freaking awesome. That was the main reason why I bought that, so that way when I am over the road for extended hours, my phone starts to die, and if my charging port in my truck goes out, I can plug that in there, and I will be able to charge my phone, which is absolutely awesome. It's really hard on the battery to do that, but it works. I can't complain. But I'm getting off topic, but a lot of people overlook these lanterns, and these lanterns are well worth their money. They're not expensive, but they're not very cheap either. This is the better of the two. It's not the greatest thing in the world, but how you mess with these is you pull this up, okay, then you pull your glass out, kind of rock it to the side, and then you just kind of pull your glass out. Alright, let that sit back down, and then you can get in here and do your cleaning and stuff that you feel like you need to do. Huh. Notice this. I should have noticed that before I even bought the thing. Or the glass is cracked. Oh well. But it's well worth it, in my opinion. I take these with me when I go out fishing quite a bit. The light seems to not as tracked in as many bugs at all, in my opinion. Gotta raise the little lever up. Why is this being so difficult? Imagine that. The second I go to make a video, nothing really wants to work. Oh, that's what it is. The little lock lever is getting in the way. And that sits down over the top of that. My O-ring that fell out. I gotta put the O-ring back in. And then, but these are well worth their weight in gold, because if an EMP does hit this country, which I doubt it will, I very highly doubt it will, if something like that happens, having something like this to be able to provide heat and light, it's well worth it. It's absolutely well worth it. That morale booster is well worth it, and the fact that it comes with instructions, or a instruction manual right here, or Spanish instructions on the back. It's awesome that it comes in 2 languages. But and the fact that it comes with an extra wick, well worth it. The fact that it comes with a funnel, it's well worth it. That's why I bought 2 of them at the same time. And a whole mess load of camp fuel. Stick these in this bag, little sandwich bag, stick the instructions in there. Because if things get bad, we have to revert back to going to stuff that was prior to, or like 1800s, quite literally, because everything in this country is electronic now. I mean, you fill out applications online. most people do direct deposit, online banking. You're screwed. Go to an ATM. If stuff like that goes down, I'd much rather have my money tied up in assets rather than a bank account. That's just my opinion. It cuts both ways because it also hurts your credit a little bit, from what I understand. I could be wrong, but I wanted to talk about this and cover this in this video. Uh, why I think it's a good buy at my local Walmart. It's well worth it. Whether you do camping, whether you don't do camping, whether you do prepping or don't do prepping. Having these in your house, if you're like me, I like hanging shit on my walls, hanging stuff up. I've got the most American quote thing ever right there, talking about how I'm very politically incorrect, and how if you don't like the door, it talks about don't let it hit you on the way out. I'm not going to word everything word for word what that sign says. Then above that, I've got my Ranger Creed. I'm not a Ranger, but it was given to me by a friend of mine who is an Army Ranger. That was pretty awesome. And I've got my pictures up here from when I was in the freaking weld school deal. That was well worth it. Absolutely well worth doing. Got to meet an amazing group of people. Over here I got some whiskey bottles, some toy cars, and some other stuff from my childhood. I like hanging stuff up on my wall, and people do too. People like pictures. People like art. And these right here are well worth it, because if not all, I mean, you could hang it on your wall as a conversation piece, but it's functional too. So if you get a power outage in the middle of winter, you could light like 5 of these up and you'll be good. You'll be golden. Oh, depending on how big it is, how big your house is, and how open everything is. But, well, I'm going to get off here, y'all. I hope everybody has a safe, amazing day, rest of your day. I'll be putting out a couple more videos. I'll probably have 10 or 12 more coming. I'm going to be off on Christmas break, Christmas vacation for my work. Everything's going fairly good. So, take care, everybody. Hope everybody has an awesome day. Bye, y'all.